Hello, my Kryptonistas. Today in Dubai, we're invited to a very, very special persona. He's a successful entrepreneur, a very, very big businessman, and of course, a famous trader and a blogger. Ladies and gentlemen, please meet Thomas Kralow.
George,
Hi.
good to see you. How are you?
Thank
been
you.
a while.
George Pagliami.
So basically, my first question will be very, very simple. I just want to know what you have started with. What was your first business like?
My first business was speculation. When I was living in New York, I was buying and selling things. So cars, used furniture, electronics, whatever I could get my hands on. So it was basically benefiting and capitalizing on margin and human greed sometimes, or laziness, because I would offer less for a certain item that was worth a bit more.
That's something that's really fascinating, especially that speculating on the markets is the usual thing in trading, right?
So that's how I've learned the basics of how money works and how it operates. So, and then I transitioned into trading, which actually made a lot of sense.
Where did you learn trading?
I had a mentor who offered me to just share this inner intricacies of asset management as well as active degen type of trading. So I had a person who actually showed me the ropes. And I think if it wasn't for that person, I wouldn't be here today. I'd probably be a lawyer somewhere in New York. So sadly.
Well, it depends. I know lawyers in New York who charge you a lot and have a
It's a
very nice
boring
vacation.
life. It's a boring life. Like with the paper thing, not my
Too much bureaucracy, right?
Yep.
Okay, got it. Could you tell me more how you got introduced to cryptocurrencies?
Just as a trader, I actually got introduced to crypto a long time ago, but I skipped on it because it was too small, and I just thought it's all just some fake bullshit, and it was a big mistake. So, and then at some point when I've started paying attention to it slightly, like 2018, for example, I read the Bitcoin Standard. I think it was Bitcoin Standard. It was one of those books that actually just explains basically what it is and actually translates the 9 pages of hard white paper text in something understandable. And when I read it and I actually compared my understanding of the current fiat system to what blockchain is in cryptography, and I was shocked. And then I just converted like almost religiously into the supporter of crypto, and I still remain a crypto maxi.
Okay, let's go less professional now. I'm just curious because, well, you're like a very, very big successful blogger. And a lot of guys who are like watching and trading and also being referred or referring people to this or that products. Everyone is like curious. What is the recipe of your success? How you became such a big KOL, as they say now, blogger, and how it began?
Yeah, well, it began with my wife that I'm with for 8 years now. And into my trading career, she saw that I'm just doing one thing, which provided a good life for us, but it wasn't the type of life that we have now. So she kind of introduced me to Instagram. She introduced me to social media in general and to content creation because she was a blogger. My wife was the first blogger. Now well, she still is kind of. But she introduced me to it, and I didn't take it seriously first. And then I tried it out, and I kind of liked it, and it kind of helped me scale myself financially. So I just went into it, and the reason why I was able to do what I was able to do was because I was doing it for 12 hours a day for the last fucking 5 years.
12 hours a day doing social media stuff.
Well, just general work, So social media is part of it. So it's like 30% of the stuff I do is social media oriented, just because we drive retail traffic to our partners and our own products. So it's a big part of my life. But overall, just the product of any success is product of very diligent and like perseverance type of work.
Yeah, even blogging. Although it sounds
There's
like funny, but it's
get
not
a
funny.
real job.
Yeah.
Asshole. But in reality, motherfucker, it is a hard job. Try to make a video that goes viral and gets 100 million views. I challenge you, go do it. So it's not easy.
So what are the fruits? So what are the results of this job? Could you tell me more about your 0.5% thing?
0.5% thing?
Yes.
Which is
the one of the sexes. Which are you like representing?
okay.
Yeah. The total volume.
You mean that my volume on the exchanges?
Yes, please.
No, well, part of social media is like what we've used it for is to drive traffic to crypto exchanges, which enabled me to, some of the days I have hundreds of millions of dollars of traded volume just under my ecosystem. So, which just enables us to generate huge cash flow for exchanges as well as ourselves. So, and depending on the day and the volume, I hold like 0.2 to 0.4% of total traded volume on Bybit, for example. So, but that is a product of so many years of social media and content and products. And
So how many years you're in trading? Both, I mean, like trading, then blogging. Like how many years?
10 years into trading and about last 5 years into blogging and trading.
Okay, that's really impressive. Very impressive results.
10 years, to be honest. It might seem impressive, but when you work as hard as I do and for so long and with so many risks and so many downside moments, that when you even reach a certain level, you're like, finally. You have a different appreciation for it. It's like you kind of get it as a normal something. Like you don't really care about it that much. When you just do a little bit of something and you get lucky and you make a shit ton of money, it's a bit different. But we get very excited. But when you work so fucking hard, you go through so many hardships and you make even $100 million, you're like, okay, why just 100 million? That was worth more than 100 million. So, yeah.
Yeah, not everyone is so successful, even with the working hard skills and some other hard skills that they put in their life and their work. And the thing that I want to ask you here is how to stay sane. How to stay sane in such situations when you are not always successful, right? People only see, especially on such networks like Instagram, like TikTok, everybody's funny, everybody's happy. You have luxurious backgrounds everywhere, here and there. And but of course, we all know that life is not always super successful, super nice, super good to you. How do you just stay sane?
I think that to stay sane, you need to love what you do. You need to genuinely enjoy where you are. And you need to be able to be in the moment and actually be able to grasp happiness and to actually realize that you're currently in the middle of something you've been praying for like 5 years ago. And we take this shit for granted, which is what I actually said. Sometimes you work so hard that you'd start to take things for granted because it's just so much sacrifice to get to that something. But overall, that I would say is, the journey is never ending. But, if you can enjoy it and you really love even the hardships, it's hard to love the hardships. It sounds like bullshit. But when you understand that it's part of the game, like you will try 10 things and the probabilities are that about 7 of those are going to fuck up bad, like bad. So, and then mostly people will quit. So, and this is where someone like me, I'm like, okay, this was horrible. What did I learn? So if I've learned something and I go forward, I've became stronger. So I didn't lose anything. I've paid for a lesson. It's a very basic concept, but life revolves around very basic yet concrete concepts.
Paying for a lesson. So you consider it as not something you have lost, but something that you have gained.
Yes.
Be it experience.
Always.
Yeah, be it some, I don't know, some interesting moments of your life that then just help you to get decisions already that are ready for you.
Yeah.
So it's like a life lesson. That's already, that's a very interesting philosophy, by the way.
You have to have philosophy. If you don't have philosophy, you're going to, as you said, go crazy. So
yeah.
You have to be very spiritual in a sense. Yeah. And just to answer, or also to add some value and truth to it, I do a lot of spiritual work. Like I meditate almost every day. I do a lot of stuff. I have spiritual guides. I've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars in coaching to see how I can expand my mind and boundaries and the limitations that we are all born with and that are instilled into us by our families, parents, communities, governments, and all that stuff. So it's always work. You always work on yourself. You wake up, you work on your body, on your mind, on your business, on your family, on your relationships, and general happiness and your state of being. And I'll tell you a secret. Today in the morning, I had a little cry in the shower. Like I'll share with you. I don't look like a guy who could, shed a tear, but I had a little cry from happiness. Like sometimes I have those moments when I realize that everything is so fucking fantastic after all these hardships. And it's not about money. It's about we did it. Like we actually fucking did it. and like everything was against us and all the odds were against, but we did it. Like this feeling struck me today, and I was like, fuck, I realized that I am actually happy where I am. I don't care about making more money, or like, it would be nice, but I don't look into the future in this way anymore. It's here. I am where I always wanted to be. And it actually made me fucking shed a tear, because the amount of pain I had to go through is fucking intense. So.
Thank you very much for sharing such a very, very personal moments, and thank you for courage and the braveness to do so, because, yeah, well,
It's just truth. Yeah.
it's something very, very interesting, especially, well, I don't want to tell about like some insights of mine or whatever with Vipassana and some other things I did. But talking about the personal stuff then, since we're now reaching and already have shared such a valuable
We can dig
info.
deeper.
George Pagliami.
So I'm gonna also jump on some news here, yeah, to make this content super CEO aggregated and interesting for our viewers. So could you please comment on several of news? Especially, I know that you're interested a little bit in politics, because politics is unfortunately that affects anything, including startups and especially taxes lately with all these regulatory things. So let's start with the first one. Donald Trump has been elected as the president of the United States. So how will this affect the crypto market in the long term? And will the current growth also be sustainable? What's your opinion on it?
Well, about sustainability with the current levels of inflation and bullshit in the traditional fiat system, all we can expect is volatility, not sustainability. But overall, I think that Trump's administration is very bullish for crypto. Like, look at Gary Gensler is already basically gone. So the landscape is about to shift monumentally. And if you see what MicroStrategy is doing, which is actually questionable, because if you look at it and the way they're selling the bonds, a bit weird, in all honesty, but let's not discuss that. So if you look at the presidential race, how it was also kind of centered around crypto and all the things that are happening, and Trump understands that it's a big community, I think that the landscape is about to change drastically, and a lot of the sectors will melt faces, price appreciation-wise. So that's something that a lot of people are not expecting.
Okay, let's jump into the Web3 giants. Andreessen Horowitz has highlighted key trends for 2025, such as asset tokenization, AI-powered wallets, decentralized chatbots, and stablecoins replacing credit cards. Which trends do you see are the most promising, maybe from this or maybe some others?
In my opinion, what I'm personally paying attention to is two very main trends. That is, I only look at fundamental stuff. So for me, I always look at things I do understand. So for example, I've been a gamer my entire life, even though with all my tattoos and stuff, I don't look like a geek, but I'm kind of a tech geek. I've been a gamer for my entire life. And I'm kind of paying attention to GameFi, and there is a lot of interesting projects, including, for example, Gunzilla is an incredible, and Off the Grid, the game, and Guns Chain is an incredible example of mass adoption-driven narrative through GameFi. So GameFi is quite interesting, and DeFi, obviously, because in the current landscape of the current regulatory framework, DeFi, in my opinion, fundamental DeFi and reliable DeFi is going to be a huge success. And for now, it's still quiet. But I think that the narrative from all the meme coin bullshit is going to shift towards proper stuff soon. And we already are seeing that even Bitcoin-wise, BlackRock and institutional some days are buying more of Ethereum than of Bitcoin.
My final question would be, with Bitcoin approaching 100K, analysts predict a new wave of institutional interest. So how should companies prepare for this?
You know, everybody deserves a certain price. We spoke about what you deserve as a person, and also here Bitcoin-wise and corporations-wise, like Microsoft recently rejected the proposal to build a strategic Bitcoin reserve. And it seems like the same situation as with German government that sold Bitcoin at 50-something thousand and missed out on billions of dollars of gains. So I think it's going to be a big FOMO effect. And I think those who are not on board yet, they should consider, because even if correction comes, even if this bull run is not going to take us anywhere to astronomical numbers, MicroStrategy, so far at least, has proven that buying Bitcoin at any price has been lucrative enough.
That was Thomas Kralow with his answers on the latest news.
George Pagliami.
So, Thomas, could you please give us a little room tour or a house tour, shall I say?
Mi casa, su casa, George.
Muchas gracias.
Yeah. So this is our small camp out. Here, this is the small house where I have the office and the gym.
And when you're like furious
when Bitcoin
and frustrated,
when Bitcoin is not doing shit, I just come out here and I make sure that it
performs.
Yeah.
Okay, nice.
So here we have a little gym with a pool table, so that we don't need to spend time on going to the gym. It's like there's no time for anything. So I work from here. And
here is where you're trading, right? Like
trade
pumping
and trading.
and trading.
Pumping, like mostly pumping. No dumps here, only pumps.
No dumps?
No
Only
dumps,
pumps.
only pumps. So here is a little office, which is mostly like my home studio, basically. Our main office is in GLT in Dubai.
I think this is the place of your private jets.
Well, not private jets, just as a Fiat, but as they say, inshallah, one day we get to it. So yeah, we'll just have a couple of cars, but in our style. And then we can just show you
Some little toys, right?
a few toys, yeah. And then the main house itself, we also have a house behind this house for our employees, like our chef, our driver, our maid. And yeah, that's basically about it, which is, very nice. It's very greenish and very different from the Dubai vibe.
Especially in December. The best weather.
But it feels good, huh?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
fucking amazing.
At least you can just breathe easily without sweating.
Yeah.
George Pagliami.
I've been working with you for like almost 6 months right now, and I have never seen you relaxing or I don't know, taking some time to I don't know, to do some rest, to do some let's say, I don't know, just relax, So I'm just curious of one little thing that I also have noted. You never drink when we go to some events, yeah. You never are, I don't know. You're almost always awake. By the way, whenever I text you, whenever I always see you're working in chats with the team and everything. And I'm just curious, what was the very moment when you decided to, let's say, quit alcohol, to not to smoke, not to overeat, not to, I don't know, do some like very, very like bad things that people usually do to move stress out of them, of their lives and so on and so forth. So what was this very moment?
Well, with drinking, it was difficult. I've quit drinking 8 years ago. So not a single beer for 8 years, but there was a reason, because I couldn't handle alcohol. Like, I'm a very dependent person by nature. So if, like, God forbid I tried drugs, I'd probably get hooked. I don't know, like, I've never tried drugs. So for me, alcohol has always been the getaway thing, and I was abusing it. I had issues. I was arrested, like when I was in my 20s, and it was not great. So once I quit drinking, I met my wife. I just turned my life around, and then when I felt this just transition from garbage to a really good life, I was like, okay, so doing good things with your body and actually limiting all the bullshit is actually so fundamentally valuable if you do it long enough, that I was like, okay, what can I do next? And next I was focusing on my spirituality, on my body, on what I eat. And it just brings up the energy levels tremendously. Like, that's why you're saying, dude, you're in the phone 20. I'm there 24/7, 365. I don't care if I'm on the mountain somewhere in Mammoth mountains of California, or I'm in Dubai, or like I'm skiing, or I'm sleeping. First of all, I'm a trader, so I check the market. Like, I wake up at night to take a piss. I check the markets. I check if my team sent me anything. I'm not one of those cunts who says, I'm sleeping. Call me in the morning.
How dare you?
Yeah, these people never make anything because they live by a fucking set of, like, you need to be outside the box to actually push. But to push that hard, you need to love it, and you need to be in the most right state of mind, spiritually, just physically, etc. Because there is even, in terms of fitness, there is a statistic which was actually done by throughout the research by Daniel Amen, I think his name was. He had 20,000 subjects in 2020, where he analyzed if there is any impact of obesity and extra weight on intellectual capability. and he found connections. I think it's because of metabolism, because if you have fucking 500 extra kilos or whatever, like there is less metabolism, therefore less vitamins get to your brain, and just blood circulation is garbage. So, and when I was like, okay, so if I can get an edge by even like 0.1%, just because I'm fit, and I'm going to feel good, I'm going to have more energy to go out and be out there and actually project my energy into the universe, which sounds crazy, but that's what actually I believe in. Fucking works, man. And then like you get hooked on it. Like your life and perfecting your existence and trying to provide value for yourself, for your family, and for your community just becomes your drug. And you love it so much that like when I go to the gym, I fucking mostly, not always, but I enjoy it. Like when we have some kind of success after a very hard negotiation, it's a good feeling, you know? It's just like it becomes like dopamine machine. So, and then you actually start to love it.
And here comes my question about the motivation, or shall I put it, main vision, or the people or the things that motivate you, that drive you, that give you energy. What are those things or people? Could you share with us?
The biggest motivation for me is the evolution of human species and where we are from, where we going, what is the capabilities of biohacking, of immortality, and things like infinite life and soul searching type of, you know, like soul searching quantum stuff. You know, it's like scientific, but at the same time mystical. And I'm really interested in this stuff because money is money and crypto is crypto. But our existence as human species and who we are, where did we come from? Are there any parallel universes? And all, like when I think about this and I understand that I have financial capability of actually putting some resources into this, into some research, maybe some labs, this what drives me, you know, and this what makes me very interested. But it's not money. Like, for example, when you're building an exchange, this is a money business. You believe in a vision, you're an entrepreneur, you're creating something based on numbers.
It's a business.
Yeah, so it still is a passion because it is something that is a product of your experience of your entire life if you do it properly. But overall, it is not always a spiritual type of thing, you know, so there is always business and spiritual soul, you know, warming type of stuff. And that is for me more about human species and evolution, which is what I want to really enjoy watching as we progress as humankind, and maybe, just maybe, have an answer to what it all is. You know, it's like this everlasting question of what's the point? So, yeah.
What's the point? Well, you're thinking very, very globally and philosophically, I should admit. Definitely. This PhD in philosophy, especially. Well,
I actually studied philosophy a little bit.
A little bit, yeah. Well, perfect. It sounds like now I understand why your vision is so big.
There is no limits.
Yeah, no limits. And talking about no limits and giving new opportunities to people, by the way. I know that, and I'm, by the way, one of the members of your private communities, of your Telegram groups, and some other products which are designed for beginners, for profit traders, etc., etc.
Yep.
And not all of them are paid, by the way. You give a lot of free content. You give a lot of free advices. You give a lot of free training. I see a lot of people on your streams from all over the world that are also joining not only just to get, I don't know, some, of course, some revenue, yeah, to grow, but also some other things that you also provide, by the way. And I'm just curious just for one little thing here. Why are you doing it? Why are you sharing your very, very expensively gained experience for free?
Should I tell you the truth?
Please do.
You know, a lot of times crypto coaches are going to say, oh, I love humanity so much that I'm an altruist and I do it out of... I do enjoy when somebody sends me a message saying, Thomas, just because of you, I motivated myself to the point that I escaped the matrix and now I'm like 23 and I'm making 20K a month from affiliate business and my life changed. I'm like, you know, I actually had an impact just because the guy didn't even buy anything from me. He was just watching my content and he saw my journey because I documented my entire fucking journey from nothing almost.
Exactly.
So therefore, you know, people get motivated and that actually drives me. I do enjoy it, but it is also an amazing lead generation. So I'm doing a lot of the social media stuff. I'm doing because it's business. And it works. And we drive huge traffic. We provide people value. People are happy. We're creating good products and we are making millions of dollars. So is just a win-win. So usually, people think that to make big money, you need to fuck someone over. We make big money by providing value.
And my last but not least question for this block is that how do you handle haters? Because we all know that success always comes with a lot of hate, a lot of envious people, or just people who are too lazy to even just push a button and open an account or do some, I don't know, just read some materials and educate themselves and so on and so forth. So I'm very curious how you are handling this pressure. How are you handling this haters pressure per se? And how you do it, how you handle it?
I used to take it personally. I used to have a big problem with it. I would go to the comment section. I would, my team mostly responds like I don't have time for that. But I used to go into comment section and read some bullshit, and I would want to fight and write something bad. But then I just realized that if you're going higher and you're doing more than most people would ever dream of doing, just because of their sheer laziness, and they always find a reason why they cannot do something. So I realized that it's the more hate there is objectively, the better you're doing. Like, look at Elon Musk. There's been so many attempts on his life. I mean, I don't need to say anything about Donald Trump. How many thousands of criminal cases? This is hate at a different level, like different ball game. So, and Trump is just playing golf and smiling to the camera, So this is the aura, this is the power of the mind and energy. And when you can just be, it's like nothing bad. Like the worst thing that can happen to you is death. As long as you're alive, you can do anything. And when you realize this power of this control over your existence, you kind of stop caring about the fucking dogs that are barking at your golden train.
Perfectly said.
I don't know how I came up with that, by the way.
No, I like it. I like it a lot. So my final question for this block would be, what would you recommend the guys who are just watching it the first time to start with, to get out of this metrics thing? Because since you have said that you also studied philosophy, we all know that the philosophers, especially ancient philosophers, they were the first people who thought out of the metrics, who didn't care about the government, who didn't care about any kind of limitations, by the way, who expressed their thoughts more or less freely or even dangerously, but expressed their thoughts and left us a very, very big and very, very big materials and big books and like big things that we still have to realize and to process even, right? So what would be your piece of advice or anything that you can tell or wish for the people who are watching?
Well, there's so many things that I would love to share because I remember myself when I was getting started. I remember I had this desire inside of me, and I made a promise to my mother that I would improve our life because, like, we never had rich people in the family, at least in the last 3 generations, and nobody with even higher education. So once, and my father left when I was 2, it was not a good childhood, to be honest. And I kind of remember this moment when we had a very hard time with my mother, and I told her that as a kid, it was nothing serious, but it stuck to me. It's like I remember these words that I said to her. So, and then I just realized that I have this desire to actually fulfill this promise, but I had no fucking clue what to do. Like, whom are you going to ask? I was living upstate New York in the shithole of Schenectady area. It was like next to a biker's bar. All they do is cocaine and cheap beer, it's like, or probably not cocaine, probably crack. So, it's like, what are you going to do? That this is where I came from. And it was so painful to the point, like, you have this crazy ego inside of you, but you just don't know what to expect and what to do next. And my only suggestion is to always take the biggest risks yesterday, not tomorrow. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Just start doing things. Be out there and develop yourself in every single sense of the word. You need to be, because everybody is where they are just because they deserve to be there. Like, you deserve to have what you have today. Like, people say, oh, it's unfair, I deserve more. No, you don't. If you did, actually, objectively, you would have it. Maybe you made a mistake somewhere. Maybe you miscommunicated something somewhere. Maybe you were just a fucking asshole somewhere where you shouldn't be. So you are the cause, and you are what dictates of what you have and what you deserve to have. So if you want to change what you have, is you need to change who you are. So therefore, I would suggest that you need to project, you have to sit down and you have to think, who is that Thomas or whomever else in that other reality? What does he look like? What does he speak like? Whom does he communicate with? What does he do on a daily basis? Does he do stupid drugs with idiots in clubs? Does he waste time on useless hookers and whatever? Who is, if that's the case, fine. I mean, there is people like Dan Bilzerian, they love it, Andrew Tate, it's all their thing, great. Who are you? And you need to be in a position where you say, okay, this person deserves X, Y, Z. And normally people who don't have shit, they will be like, okay, I really don't deserve. So they need to accept it, kill the ego in this instance, and actually push themselves forward into the realm where they just push without even belief. They just push. They try something. They will fail 5 times. And this is what, if you go past this filter of the 99% of people, because everybody quits, this is how you make it. You don't need to be extra smart. You don't need to be super fucking connected. You just need to do. Start doing. And when you start doing and you actually push hard, you're already in the 1%. The money is just going to be the result of it. So, yeah, I guess that's it.
Sounds very startup-ish, I would say.
Startup. Yeah.
Yeah,
but it's true. Like everybody,
like a startup. Yeah,
every life
because you're
is a
hitting the
startup.
same spot, or testing like a hypothesis. Always risking because you're new on the market. Yeah, you have to get to a certain niche, to a certain level, to I don't know, to test like thousands of hypotheses, take like even higher risks.
George Pagliami.
Okay, so this is the main house, main mansion. One side of it is still not finished fully. We're still working on it, but this is the main living room, a little bit of Christmas spirit, which is important. See, even our turtle has a little Christmas spirit.
Turtle, real turtle, guys.
Yeah, this Sophia's. This is our love. She's
sleeping.
Yeah, she's sleeping, but I can wait. It's interesting.
Oh, let her sleep. No worries.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, come on. It's an live being, so yeah, let's not
but
disturb
she's fun.
her.
She's very nice. She's very sweet. She's very little, like this. Very small. That's why she's hiding. So we often take her out, and sometimes also if the market is stagnating and doesn't do shit, like if she crawls to the left, I long. If she crawls to the right, I short. And then I share a profit.
So a turtle which gives you predictions, right?
It's a very special turtle. It's not just a turtle.
Bitcoin. What's her name, by the way?
Crystal.
Crystal.
Just because she looks like a piece of crystal, So
nice, interesting. By the way, I have spotted a bouquet of flowers.
Yes.
I'm just curious how many times, like how often do you present your wife something, be it like a present or be it like just flowers, like
your
attention?
If you have the right relationship with your woman is your powerhouse. It's your energy. It's your backbone. It's your really everything. This is really the value of a proper relationship. So therefore you always need to give attention, because if you starve somebody of attention and you say, oh, I'm too busy, relationship is work, and you need to be able to be at very high spirits. You need to always fuel it with something. It's not just about the gifts, it's about attention. So I always try to spend a lot of time together and dedicate myself to great discussions so we have connection, and also some gifts here and there, but I don't spoil my wife. Like well, I spoil her to a certain level. If some people will check her Instagram, will like, what the fuck is he talking about, But sometimes the desires are further out, so that's why I'm trying to always be reasonable. So
interesting. So let's see how Crystal is doing, how she's predicting the prices of crypto. Okay. Crystal, wake up. Yeah. Oh my God, look at her.
this is our baby. She's shy. No, but she was also sleeping. We woke her up. But she's so small. In the evening, sometimes, a lot of people think that all I care about is driving a Bugatti or whatever. But when I come home, I take this little piece of happiness and joy and love, and we actually lay on the sofa. I put her on my belly. I put the blanket over, and she's always getting the heat from my belly, and she just sleeps there.
I saw your stories, yeah. And I was like wondering, where did you find the turtle in Dubai? Nice. Crystal, okay.
Yeah, she's not very active, but once she wakes up, she starts moving about a bit more, but she's a little shy.
Oh, so sweet.
All right.
George Pagliami.
So, well, Thomas, we all know that you're a successful guy. Yeah, not only an entrepreneur, businessman, and business owner. You also have your own CEC regulated VC. You have your hedge fund. You have your community. You're one of the biggest referrals of central exchanges, and you have also a big range of your own products. Many other things that you also have invested. And just one little question that cannot go out of my mind. Why you decided that something else has to be done? To put it very shortly, why EVEDEX?
Because the market needs it, because people need it. I think that right now, in the light of everything that is happening globally and so many dystopian concepts that are brought forward by, WEF and so many different non-elected officials that, dictate the future of some dystopian technologies, from CBDCs to microchips and total control in personal finances and stuff. And this is, in my opinion, just a shift into some kind of slavery. And for us, EVEDEX is something that is a fresh breath for people to actually, again, not to use it for some kind of bad things, but to actually have freedom, self-sovereignty, confidence in the ownership of their assets. Because money, a lot of people are going to say money is not the most important thing, and maybe it's not, but it is almost sacred these days. You cannot do shit without money. And when somebody controls your money, and it's like, if your money is in your bank right now, to be honest, it's one of the worst things. And like, you don't own that money. The same thing when you have your money on centralized exchanges, it's like, as they say, if it's not your keys, it's not your crypto. So you don't own it. Like tomorrow, any exchange, Binance, for some regulatory reason, they will say, well, explain what is the origin of these 15 Bitcoin. And if you're going to answer in a slightly weird way, you might fucking get the chance of not retrieving those ever. So is this your money? No. It's not. So in my opinion, the future is in DeFi. But in DeFi, there are some solutions, there's good tech, but there is nothing for mass adoption, for retail to come and really enjoy having rights as humans, financially. This is what EVEDEX philosophically is about, really enabling the rights of people and giving them those rights back.
All right. Talking about the freedom, talking about the market, talking about the Web3 products that are already on the market. I must admit that there are a lot of DEXs, right? Successful, by the way, not so successful, known, not so much known, used by geeks, used by only like crypto people, used by some newbies, but not so many because, well, we all know how UX UI index is, right?
Yep.
Not for everyone. So
pretty bad, yeah.
Let me put it like this. Why EVEDEX has to be chosen by an ordinary guy who is new to crypto, who doesn't know even what is like custodial, uncustodial wallet, transaction fees, gas fees, especially layer 1, layer 2, layer 3, rollups, all these things that are like sound really technical, even though we're like not the first year in the sphere. So why they have to choose EVEDEX over some other products on the market?
Okay, there's a line of reasons, anything from technical reasons, which I'm not going to bore you with, things like account obstruction, ERC 4337, full standard, and all this stuff. So generally speaking, I'm going to just answer it simply. There isn't one single DEX that actually combines all the good features and which would translate into the potential of mass adoption. Let me explain. First of all, a lot of DEXs don't have proper social login. It's all like, really, you need to use some wallets, it's like quantum theories, it's rocket science to use the fucking thing. So you just have social login, email, password, which is still a decentralized wallet, but like it's so seamless. There is no issues with bridges. So in other words, it's the same experience as trading on any exchange, and it's even faster just because there is no, dumb questions. It's like you actually register, you start trading. You connect your MetaMask, Ledger, or our internal EVEDEX wallet, which is also decentralized because EVEDEX, after all, is also a wallet in a way. So, and you just are free to trade and do whatever you want. So, generally speaking, what is lacking in many DEXs is, as I just said, proper UI and user experience and easiness of use, but also features like copy trading. Even centralized exchanges, biggest ones, have issues with copy trading. And we dug so deep into this shit that there is no explanation why there is, like, some of the exchanges have 1.5% slippage on copy trading accounts on Ethereum. Why do they even exist? So they don't even have proper ones in centralized world. And we know how to fix these issues and put it into finally a proper copy trading platform, regulated copy trading platform, into a DEX. So same thing for P2P, debit cards, fiat on-ramp. So in a DEX, an EVEDEX, you can buy crypto with a card. So like which DEX can offer you that? You can have a seamless deposit from Binance directly. So, and it's like, it's so seamless, but it's cheaper to trade on. You have all the same features and even better. And it's cheaper and safe, and you self-custody your crypto. So even if EVEDEX dies, we don't have any hot wallets. So if the system dies, you can still pull the money off chain because it's on chain. So for it to be just basically turned down, like you would have to shut down Ethereum. I don't know. So therefore, it is very reliable, and it just stands out among the competition. And I'm not even talking about our proper affiliate system, which DEXs don't have. That's why KOLs don't promote DEXs, because they're garbage. Their offers are weak, and they're just greedy. Like in our case, we have the best terms, not just among DEXs, but even among CEXs. Because, for example, we share commissions with our affiliates, not just on trading volume, but on debit cards, on copy trading platforms' profit share, even that deep. Then the trading volume itself, P2P, and whatever we make money from, the affiliates make the same percentage, lifetime. This is powerful, and DEXs don't have this. And this is the recipe that, for example, made Bybit a multi-billion-dollar company.
Sounds like EVEDEX is a DEX designed for people.
Yeah, exactly.
I already have noticed that the socials of EVEDEX have surpassed any kind of socials of other DEXs, by the way, although the product is still not delivered, right? It's on testnet.
Testnet, yes.
And I'm very, very curious, what is your GTM? What is your go-to-market strategy? What is your strategy to gain to build this another successful company, another successful product on the market, which you are telling me about?
See, first of all, before even starting to build EVEDEX, we made sure that we were building something that doesn't require crazy marketing. The product had to market itself in a way that people need it. Really, it really needs to answer the pain of people, and we answer like 3 pains, like technical pains. So, once we realized this, we understood, okay, so this is something that we can really push forward. And I think that this is something in general that will make EVEDEX the most successful DEX there is. I don't know if I answered your question or not.
It's fine. I will just ask another question that I think that will show the best answer here from you, because I know from part of your team that you already got some very interesting letters from central exchanges, because you've been like one of the biggest KOLs, one of the biggest traders there, who holds one of the biggest volumes, and so on and so forth. So could you please maybe explore why EVEDEX will attract not only just people like you and me, or even, I don't know, our audience and so on and so forth, but especially big bloggers?
Yeah, and I just realized that I didn't answer your question fully. I just you're saying what is the go-to-market strategy, and I have so many thoughts in my mind.
No worries, I'll ask you more.
Because I have so many thoughts in my mind that sometimes I just forget what I'm saying. So just to answer your question about first of all, it is the product that actually has to self-market because people really need it. And second of all, we have an army of affiliates already. We have the Learning Center, which is also an avenue of leads for EVEDEX because we understand the educational product and how to bring new blood to the system and to the market. And certainly it is all about the big marketing strategy that we have inside of EVEDEX, the crypto marketing strategy, which is very powerful, which also has got a lot to do with things I cannot mention. So because it's part of our future roadmap. So but now let's move on to the other question.
George Pagliami.
Thomas, startups usually lose steam very often after the first excitement. What would be your personal recommendations to keep team motivated?
Well, the biggest motivation for the team is always the following of the roadmap. When the team actually sees that you're fulfilling what has been promised and they actually feel that the company is gaining stability is what matters, because people want stability in their life. And you as a founder, as a chairman, or as a creator, as a CEO, it is your job to provide that sense of security and to actually build the security itself. But the sense of it is also very important. So therefore, if startup is losing heat, you should first evaluate whether you are doing the right thing after all.
Perfect. The second thing that usually is a very, very struggling problem, especially for startups, not only Web3, but like for every startup, I'm going to put it in a very, very short manner. Where or how or when to find investors?
You have to be part of communities. You have to put yourself out there. One of the things that I regret, I've been invited to so many parties, to so many cool places where sometimes I had biggest shifts in my life came because of one connection, because of one person, because of one conversation. So you have to be out there. And mostly out of 100 people you're going to meet, 98 will be useless garbage. Well, generally speaking, so very generally speaking, and then 2% will be something interesting, maybe just 1%. So you just need to keep digging and you need to learn how to communicate. So if you're at a networking event, for one, you have to go to proper ones, not that $29.99 business lunch bullshit, but something proper. Actually be part of forums, see where the crypto people go, follow them on X and see what they do, be at the same place, be in their energy and try to communicate it as much as possible.
What was the main problem when you were building and are building your EVEDEX startup, and how you overcame it?
The hardest thing was tech. Tech, because we have marketing. And to be honest, EVEDEX isn't really a startup just because we're merging all existing business like educational business, our club, our communities, our educational products, everything into EVEDEX, which already is making millions of dollars. So it's not really a startup. And throughout this whole process, the biggest problem initially when we were setting out to build EVEDEX, for us, the biggest problem was to find the tech lead and the CTO, because we have everything else. And as I said, EVEDEX is already a money-making business, basically, because we're merging all the existing business together. So for us, we understood the technology. I had the vision, but I'm not a tech specialist. I do understand smart contracts, I understand cryptography and all that, but I'm not a tech geek, So therefore, we had to find the right person who would be able to build something in 6 months that usually takes 18 months to build. And we found such a person. Actually, it was also a huge thanks to our operational director and my friend Vladimir Smirkis, who is the founder of Bloom. He actually helped us find Vlad, who is our CTO now. So networking again, in a way.
Okay, and could you please share one piece of advice, very, very short, if I may ask? What is the utmost thing that a founder has to think about? What is like the crucial point?
The crucial point of any founder because again, venture capital and early stage companies have 90-something% failure rate. So, and for the most part, it is because founders lack initiative. They think they have it. They think, oh, I have a pioneering idea and it has to explode. No, it doesn't. You can have the best idea, you can have the tech, but if you don't have the people, if you don't have that extra edge, if you're not perfect in every aspect. I mean, we've been through fundraising, how much bullshit there is. It's ridiculous. It's mind-boggling.
Tell me about it.
It's lip-numbing how stupid the industry can be sometimes. So therefore, to be able to actually go beyond this filter, as I say, you really need to push beyond. You need to find ways that other people wouldn't just think about. It's like you need to think outside the box. Even in entrepreneurship, if you're going to be doing the same shit that old entrepreneurs are doing, you're going to be just like most of them. You're going to make up the same statistics. So you need to always be an outlier in some sense. And you always need to find ways to make the impossible possible. With EVEDEX, we had a few issues here and there, which was very difficult to find solutions. We didn't even know how to actually even solve those things. But through perseverance and the belief that the impossible is possible, we took care of everything.
So today is the 13th of December. And by the way, how old is EVEDEX?
6 months. Well, I mean, all the businesses have existed for long, but EVEDEX in of itself, 6 months.
6 months. Wow. Fascinating.
Yeah. In 6 months, we did a lot. Yeah.
George Pagliami.
Let's move on to the other question. Let's say that you have onboarded a lot of users. Yeah. Thousands, millions, hopefully. But how do you retain those users? How you make them interested into trading, actually? Because we all know that it's like very time consuming. Yeah, you have to at least check out some charts. You have to educate yourself. You have to read a lot of materials, analytics, and so on and so forth. I'm just very, very curious. What is your retention features, strategy? What are these perks that will help to retain those users and not to jump to other products or just abandon their accounts and do nothing?
There is different types of users. You know, there is end user like myself who cares about things like liquidity, slippage, commissions, order execution, I don't know, the software, you know, like the user experience, like technical stuff. For this reason, we have, I mean, and like one of the most important things is commissions. Like if I spend $50,000 a month on commissions or $25,000, I think that it makes a difference. So there is technical reasons for people to actually stay on EVEDEX just because we're so competitive. But other reasons is, for example, for people who really enjoy perks, you know, some cool stuff. We're going to have gamification. So you can actually have your own character that you'll level up based on your maybe referral volume or your trading volume or your experience and progress inside of our learning center, where you, by the way, can learn anything from personal finances to trading to crypto, blockchain to fitness and spirituality. So it's like a really huge community. And most importantly, which brings me to the next point, which is the community. EVEDEX is not just a dry, perp, boring piece of garbage DEX. It is a community. It is an ecosystem. And it is just, there is also inside of this community an exclusive trading club, for example, where people can join us and they can see the trades that I'm taking, and I communicate with the community on the inside. So it's like we have the insider room there, you know, it's like a very powerful type of community, which also generates a lot of interest for the ecosystem. And when people come to us, they love to, you know, I don't know, see our trades. They love our community. They love to communicate. They love to learn from our learning center and purchase our $27 Prime subscription, which grants them full access to our learning center, and they can learn anything infinitely, and also get some perks in terms of trading, like some discounts and stuff. So, and this just overall creates a different atmosphere. And those who are part of, for example, learning center, if they came in to learn how to trade, where are they going to trade? On EVEDEX. When they trade on EVEDEX, they make some money, for example, they want to withdraw the profit. Where are they going to get a debit card so they can spend the money? EVEDEX debit card. So, and it all just goes on a loop. That's why people don't need to go anywhere else. And we have a very big roadmap for the next, not just few years. We have a much bigger roadmap, which was never discussed anywhere before, actually.
Okay,
for many more features down the road.
Unfortunately, I suppose it cannot be like revealed now.
Probably not a good idea, yeah.
Okay, but nevertheless, well, although I'm an angel investor myself, I'm gonna act like a devil advisor right now, and I'm gonna ask you one final question about the EVEDEX. So after listening to your answers, after seeing how inspired you are, by the way, and energetic when you're speaking about it, it's like you're a little child, as I can see. I'm gonna ask the final question about this. Are you aiming to have EVEDEX to be pushed in the users, in people's like everyday life thing?
Yes. Because inside EVEDEX, you will even, one of the features that we haven't been, I can give you one feature we didn't even discuss anywhere. There's going to be AI, integrate like an AI assistant, that is this character that you level up. It's with time will become like your friend. So you can actually speak with your friend. You can actually shape that persona, and you can you can actually request, for example, go place an order. It actually will be able to help you even with trading. It can actually analyze the market, and it can also just be your friend. There are very good AI developments that we're currently looking at that really make it possible. So we also want people to have support, that they can ask any question. They can ask how they could make extra money, for example, and their character will answer that there is EVEDEX's affiliate system. Here is your link. It's going to give you your link. Send it to a friend, and if you send it to a friend and your friend trades, you're going to get X amount of commission for lifetime for next years to come. So, and it's going to give you a suggestion how you can better your life inside EVEDEX. And it's especially relevant for the Asian communities. So we're going to be pushing even towards that. So people actually become so involved in EVEDEX app that it just stems even outside of finance a little bit.
Well, I cannot go further without a little integration of George Paliani. Bugatti, call me. I cannot go further and not ask you about the backers.
Yeah.
The backers that you have on board, the guys, the team, anything that you want to share about the main sponsors, investors, main acting personas or companies that you have on board.
Yeah. So we've been self-funded for a very long time. We've never raised much money for obvious reasons. We want to repeat a very good strategy that was like fair market launch almost type of strategy. And for us, one of the biggest partners that has been helping us throughout this journey is Morningstar Ventures. And especially Danilo, the founder, who's just an incredible individual in the space and one of people who are really super well known for the last 10 years in the industry. So also we have Foresight Ventures, we have Arbitrum Foundation, we have an incredible board of advisors, anything from Chief Compliance Officer of Binance US, Leslie O'Neill, who has been so immensely helpful in terms of compliance issues and legal stuff. Then we also have people from OKX, we have someone from Animoca, we have advisors from Robinhood, from Haken. Dima Budora, an incredible individual, has helped us a lot and also is helping us with the audits of our protocols and stuff. So, we have an incredible board. Also, when it comes to our team, our operational director is ex-Meta, who has worked with big marketing budgets and understands marketing as well as operations on the level of senior level of Meta. Also, we have our CTO has a public exit. He's built exchanges before and has very good reputation in a certain market segment. We have very good finance team, very good lawyers, incredible CMO who has launched multiple powerful projects before and has created very good marketing campaigns for those. Very powerful individual. And a couple of others. Like we have relatively, like right now in EVEDEX, we have about 45 people. But the main five, these would be the ones. And also your help has been very incredible in terms of fundraising and everything we've done. George Paliani.
Yeah, exactly.
So we had nothing but incredible individuals in our team, among our team members as well as our advisors and our backers and investors.
George Paliani.
Now a blitz. You can answer short, you can answer long, whatever you choose. So everyone's chasing AI and Web3. What industry are they missing?
If they're chasing DeFi.
$1 million to invest right now. Where to invest?
DeFi and GameFi. And fundamental altcoins in general.
Okay. Crypto in one word.
Opportunity.
What's the trading rule you live by?
Never risk more than 1% per any given trade.
What's your motivation?
Human species and the observation of evolution.
Top 3 projects you're watching right now.
EVEDEX, Ethereum. Shit, top 3. I cannot do top 3. I hold like 50 coins. George, I'm a degen. I ain't got no top 3. If I do top 3, Bitcoin, Ethereum, EVEDEX, which is not a coin. But if we're talking about, the projects, then these would be the top, but it's not a fair answer to your question, I guess.
You sound like a crypto junkie to me, to be honest.
I am a little bit this.
So if crypto disappeared tomorrow, what will be your action plan?
If crypto did disappear tomorrow, it depends on what would cause it, because it would be likely that the world would probably also come to the end. If it would be something like internet shutting down. But overall, if crypto were to die, I'd probably have to get a job, because I'd lose 99% of everything. So let's not talk about it. I don't have a plan B, bro. Bruv, I have plan A, and that's it.
Okay, then my final question here in this blitz would be your wish to our audience for 2025.
To be happy. But every moment that you wake up, you know that you're grateful for what you have. You value the fact that there had to be billions of coincidences for you, the motherfucker, to even exist. And that life revolves around the ability to appreciate, to love, and to be happy. And to make a shit ton of money. So go and do it.
Well, you heard the man. It was Thomas Kralow, the creator of EVEDEX.
George Palyami.
Also, just a little something from Georgia. I know you don't drink.
For the guests, for the New Year's.
For the New Year's, for the guests, or just for your collection, a little something, Georgian wine. And I also, I'm following your wife on Instagram, and she was struggling with the bottle of wine I brought you last time. So now you have an electronic opener.
Thank you, George. Appreciate it.
Just a little something.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Very nice of you.
Thank you for having us. And this is, by the way, the unicorn that I've raised, by the way. So I hope that this will bring you luck and happiness.
Let's go.
George Palyami.